Welcome, folks, to another Game Hoarder production. I'm very excited to bring this to you. Shadowrun returns. One of the games I kickstarted last year. It's finally come to fruition. You can get it now off Steam. And I haven't played a whole lot. I played like the first 10 minutes maybe. I wanted to kind of do this as a blind LP. I've never actually beaten the Super Nintendo or Genesis version. I've played them both pretty briefly. And they're actually already working on a remake of the Super Nintendo version for this particular engine. So it's going to be a lot of cool things to come. I've heard the main campaign that was released with this game is right around 12 hours, which honestly isn't really long enough for a epic RPG. But with all the extra bonus content coming out, I think it's going to make for a lot of good LPs, and I definitely plan on doing the original Super NES and Genesis version, as well as the remakes that they do for this. So, another thing I'd like to mention is that I'll be doing a Shadowrun Returns giveaway contest for my whatever we hit first, either 2 million views or 4,000 subscribers. So I'll be doing a giveaway of a Steam code for either or once we reach that mark. So maybe by the time this LP's done, more people will be interested in actually owning the game. Of course, I'll make the option that if you don't want the Steam key, I can of course send you a Game Hoarder t-shirt, or who knows. And we'll also do a second runner-up for the following game that's supposed to come after Star Control 2 and what's going to be Privateer. So the last Finnegan who sent me a bunch of goodies, he decided he wanted to see Privateer, and I'm actually going to do that side by side with Star Control 2 once Dark Sun 2 is finished. So, but since I did get this kickstarted and I'd like to get it out there, I'm going to be doing a couple videos of this per week, hopefully, albeit I have the time. So let's go ahead and get started with the Deadman Switch. This is the Harebrained Schemes campaign that comes with the game. It takes place in Seattle. In an urban sprawl of Seattle Metroplex, the search for a mysterious killer sets you on the trail that leads from the darkest slums to the city's most powerful megacorps. You will need to tread carefully, enlist the aid of other runners, and master powerful forces of technology and magic in order to emerge from the shadows of Seattle unscathed. Now, the cool thing about this whole Shadowrun Returns game is going to be the mere fact that you're going to be able to play a bunch of other people's campaigns that they create. And for those of you that don't know, Shadowrun is actually a pen and paper Dungeons & Dragons type role-playing game. That's where it was born. So it'll be kind of cool playing other game masters, campaigns, if you will, which you can of course get to by the Find More Stories button here. Alright, so here we are at the character generation screen. I thought a lot about making a Lug character, either troll or orc, but Lug's already in the Dark Sun game. Ronstock hasn't been around for a while. Maybe I'll make future characters. It seems just like human is so boring nowadays. Humans were the only race on Earth until the Awakening in 2012, and now they find themselves the definition of average or even normal. They are still the most populous race in the world and thus control many of the most powerful, moneyed, and important positions in society. They start with +1 Karma, which is basically an ability point. Body 9, Quickness 9, they're very average. You can see with the stats. The Elf. Many people, especially other metahuman races, see the elves as the most fortunate metahumans. They are more attractive and socially acceptable than the other metahumans. Elves are taller than humans, but have more slender build. Their hair is usually thicker, longer, and more luxurious than the average, and their ears come to a point. Then we have the Dwarf. Dwarves are the shortest of the metahuman races. To compensate, their torsos and shoulders are wider and their size would indicate. Thus their strength is equal to and sometimes greater than the larger races. A side effect of their metahuman nature is increased resistance to pathogens and magic that attacks from within. They get +1 to willpower. The Orc is the fastest breeding race and now second only to human in world population. Their size leads to an intimidating silhouette and a body that can take more physical damage than average. Orcs have pointed ears and intimidating teeth or tusk. And then we have the Troll. the largest meant the human race. Heavy prejudice against them has led people to assume trolls have lowered intelligence, but in reality there's no proof of this. Trolls have pointed ears, intimidating teeth, or tusk, and many have horn-like growths where other metahumans do not manifest. They get +1 body and strength. I think we're going to go ahead and make Ron Stock. Originally, when I first playtested, I made a troll named Luglug. But I think Luglug's had a lot of roles in a lot of games lately, and we need to give him a rest. We have the Street Samurai, who's a freelance operative who follows the code of the street honor. They are learned in the ways of traditional samurai warrior and in the practices of modern combat. Samurai sell their skills for profit and work to take out dishonorable scum that seem to breed in the urban sprawl. So they need body strength and quickness. Good at close or range combat, or both, which is cool. And we have the Mage, specializing in casting their magic, but that doesn't mean they can't shoot guns as well. Rather, magic is the center of their life. Their spell reflects a pure balance of the manosphere and cover a wide range of magical effects, from offensive damage attacks to character augmentation or degradation spells. We have the Decker, who is the cyber deck to Jacket in the Matrix. This is kind of the hacker. The worldwide information grid and computer network. By projecting their minds into the electronic world, Deckers can find secrets others keep hidden away. They use programs and expert systems to fight off protections that mega corporations place in their way. And we have the Shaman. They believe their magic comes from a great totem spirit that guides their life path: bear, cat, coyote, eagle, or raccoon. Shaman's relations with their totems allow them to summon spirits, and command them to do their bidding. Shaman have the skill to conjure spells that mages cannot. And we have the Rigger. Rigger, please! Rigger use cyber tech to jack their minds into control of small robot-like vehicles called drones. Riggers use their rigging abilities to provide surveillance support and extra firepower when required. And we have the Physical Adept. Adepts are magically active characters who focus their magic internally to develop to their utmost potential, physically, mentally, and spiritually. As Adepts unlock new abilities, they become own physical machines, using their magic to enhance their close combat abilities. And none. If you feel comfortable the way your characters are built in Shadowrun, you may create your own character by mixing skills and attributes as you wish. We're going to actually go with the Street Samurai for whatever purposes. I just like the way it sounds. Shotgun and a katana. And we got all kinds of cool faces that we can go through. You'll notice it takes a base face and then it'll add glasses or scars, tattoos. He's pretty cool. Kind of got your shadowy figure, and then you can... They kind of got a automatic... You can of course take this off and change it and make them look any way you wish. But the auto kind of fix them more or less as close to the picture as possible. You can't actually physically get the glasses or the cyborg. That doesn't show up there. That's very Street Samurai-ish, that guy. I like him. I like him too. I think we'll go with this cyborg style dude. He's cool. Now we're going to spend our karma, which basically represents our skills. You can see we have body karma, intelligence, willpower, charisma. You get different skills under each. Since we're a Street Samurai, we're going to want to deal with range combat, SMGs, rifles. Let's see, SMGs. Increased chance of greater normal damage SMG attack. I want to focus on SMGs and rifles, I think. Close combat, we'll have to see. Now you are going to get other characters in the game, and you'll be able to use them. I'm not sure to what extent. And you can also save points, so we'll go ahead and save that point for now. And we can choose etiquette. Etiquette is about knowing how to behave in various social situations. The right etiquette can give you an edge in certain conversations. Choose an etiquette from listed below. Choosing an etiquette does not cost karma, and each etiquette can only be chosen once. Corporate etiquette, security gang, socialite, street, Shadowrunner. We go with street etiquette. And of course, his name will be Ronstock. Your apartment, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's got 4 walls, a roof, and isn't on fire. Even the cockroaches have fled in search of better accommodations. Not exactly a runner's dream pad, but right now, it's about all you have left. Running the shadows is all about feast or famine. One day you're Nova hot, working jobs that allow you to eat at 5-star restaurants. The next, well, you're here. This one's a famine for the ages. Slagger, Fixer hasn't called. The money's run out, and then some. Sinless and free to starve in the cracks of society run by megacorps who just want your Nuyen. Something needs to change, and soon. Nuyen, by the way, is the currency in this game. This is kind of a Japanese atmosphere. Your apartment, 2054, it's 3 a.m. So here we have our isometric screen, which I love. This has got to be my most favorite perspective in any type of game. I just love this. I fucking love it. Baldur's Gate-y feel and Fallout-y feel. It's the best perspective ever, and it just hits home for the RPG goodness. Your computer, state of the art in 2050, broken since 2051. A slip of paper with your bank balance, enough to cover you through the end of the week. You notice we get little magnifying glasses that kind of show us the different things. You can zoom way out, which I think is super cool. I don't think there's any way to rotate the screen. And as you can see, some play areas of the play area are limited. I can't move into the bathroom area. I can't move into the hall. Well, actually, yeah, I guess I can. That's interesting. Oh, okay, I see. Alright. Still getting used to the game. So, like I said, this would probably be one of the more or less first blind LPs I do with pretty much zero practice. And I'm not too aware of the lingo of Shadowrun, so pardon me if I mispronounce or misunderstand some of the contextual connotations that are in the game. You have your notebook, calendar, contacts, that kind of thing. Let's view the contacts. Carter Detroit, Fixer, no response. Dowd, a runner who's dead. Felton Nash, Fixer, missing since February. New Larry, runner, dead. Sam Watts, runner, probably in the gutter, somewhere. Sangoma, runner, dead. Half Jack, dealer, retired or dead. The list goes on, all either dead or just plain dead. Dead ends or just plain dead. Alright. Personal calendar, not shit. Alright, easy enough. Let's go check out the hand symbol here, which is an objective. The screen leaps to life, making you squint against its brightness. The face of the screen is laughing. Sam Watts. Hey, buddy. Hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. He giggles. He's drunk again or worse. Shouldn't have given you my comm code, gonk. Don't bother with your side of conversation. I'm not really here. Just one reason for this vid. Someone's finally geeked me. I'm dead. I probably had it coming. When you're an unsavory character like myself, you tend to associate with other unsavory characters, who often partake in unsavory business, like you, for example. So, why am I dead? Who knows? Probably my fault. I wonder where you are right now. I bet you hit a big payday and you're living high on the hog somewhere. Some of us are born winners and some of us are me. Hey, you remember that Renraku run we did? Things went to hell when we lost Dowd? Or that makeshift saloon on docks afterward? I really had your back that night, didn't I? Dowd. That's a name you haven't heard in a long time. "3 years ago, a makeshift bar on the Seattle docks. The night Dowd went down. Again, we have our play area. Guess we can explore a little bit. Picked up a basic meta kit. We'll go over some of the other screens here in a second. This will always center your character, a little arrow. You can get into objectives and mission items from here. Here's our first objective: get a job, any job, answer the vid phone. You have your character sheet, which will show your portrait, race, gender, known etiquette, your Nuyen up here. I'm broke as a joke. Action pool, hit points, armor, essence, magic, strength, quickness, intelligence, willpower, charisma, is kind of like your Dungeons and Dragons tributes. Body. You have your inventory here. You can check out the weapon damage, range, capacity. Secure samurai clothing, basic samurai armor. You can kind of tilt your guy around and check out his gear. And you have inventory down here. I got a Fachette frag grenade. Area of effect is 2, damage 12. Basic med kit and a dock wagon basic trauma kit. Of course, neither of the two weapons that I chose. Instead, I have a pistol and a shotgun. But since I'm pretty good at all ranged weapons, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then we have augmentations, or cyberware. You can get brain implants, eye implants, body implants, arm implant, and leg implants. And then we have our modes, perspective, resolution, screen size, things like that. And of course, I'll learn more as we play more. Now, back to the fun. You can hold down the right mouse button to kind of scroll on the screen, which I have to do because since I'm not playing full screen, moving the mouse off of the screen doesn't scroll it. Let's talk to New Larry. You've been running with New Larry for about 6 months now. He's a combat mage with a badass tattoo and a badass attitude. He knew Dowd almost as well as you did. Dowd never saw anyone die like that before. Idiot. He shakes his head. I hate this freaking city. We're on stock, it's wet, and the rain feels like acid. I want out of here. We wait for the money. Yeah, sure, of course. I'll wait all night if I have to. I don't know, Ronstock. Sam. He's a good guy, can hold his own in a fight, but he's been hitting the bottle pretty good lately. Never on a run, so far. But he needs watching. He shakes his head. That run went sideways 9 ways to Sunday. Now the fixer's late. That bastard better show. We need the money. I want to get paid as much as you, buddy, but we need to live long enough to actually drink the Nuyen we hear. Cut the dreck, Sam. We both know why Dowd went down and wasn't the fixer on some other paranoid chip dream of yours. Sam smiles a toothy smile. I've been waiting all night. New Larry has something he wants to say, don't you, Larry? Go ahead, spill it. You were sloppy. Sloppy? You think I was sloppy? You've been twitchy all day, son. Look at your hands, they're shaking. You been drinking, Sam? I don't run. Not a drop. Not today, not ever. Something dawns on him. He leans into New Larry, amused and dangerous. We were set up, and he knows it, don't you, Larry? What was that call you made before we hit Renraku? How come you couldn't geek that guy before he unloaded on Dowd? I've seen you fling a lightning bolt, son. He should have been burned toast before his gun cleared the holster. New Larry checks his watch, licks his lips, looks over your shoulder at the darkness. He's looking for someone, and it's not the fixer. Okay, I can see where this is going. You chummers are damaged. I'm out. Did you keep us here long enough? Hands where I can see them, asshole! He stops smiling. He stops and a smile slowly appears on his face. What? You gonna take my gun away, Ronstock? You know I don't need one. We've got him coming! New Larry relaxes and throws you a Dreki grin. Looks like my new Renraku friends are finally here. They're gonna take that hard drive off your corpse, buddy. We should have chose our friends more carefully, Ronstock. That guy, he was never my friend. Mine either. I think I'll shoot him. Leave the mage. Kill the others. Alright, so we have our turn-based combat. So, you can get the percentage. It kind of works XCOM-y. If you've played XCOM, you can see the shields, the coverage. You move to an area, you can see full coverage, half coverage, things like that. We're definitely taking out the traitorous mage. And you see weak. A weak shot does half damage. Got a shaman here. Heals friends. And we got haste. He had that coming. Now that he's hasted, he's gotten a couple extra points here. We're going to take a shot with our half-orc. We got some more troops coming in from the north. You can see the ammunition here. As the weapon color empties, you know you need to reload. You can change ammo types here. You can stand and crouch in these positions here. You can see that is basically no cover. Shotgun gets a little spread, as you can see. Not enough ammo. Damn it. He's got to reload. He might get another shot, though. Nope. That'll take him out. This is bad. I got a shaman! Alright, shaman, whatever the fuck. We don't care. Got a shaman too, though. Oh! Nice shot, and he threw a grenade. Kind of off, but... Shaman has, We'll go for a grenade toss. Missed! That's no good. We definitely want to take this shaman out. That'll get rid of its creature. Oh, critical ×2. See the hit points up here? We gotta do something about this combat mage. He's really toasting this bitch. There we go. It's a normal shot, 12 damage. You okay, Sam? Sangoma lowers her guns, eyes Sam's. Sam's breathing is heavy and he looks shaken. That was a hell of a thing. You did good. You were born for this gig. Hot stock. Me? Not so much. I think I'm gonna hang it up. Find a nice brothel somewhere. Stay drunk till I croak. What about you? I'll find a safe house out of town. Lay low. Rinraku has a long memory. I do too. I don't forget my friends. You stare at Sam's face on your comlink. Shake off the memory. Focus. I had y'all back that night, didn't I? Now I'm asking myself, who would care if I die? Who would give a rat's ass? Better or worse, your name is at the top of the list. Maybe it's the only name on the list. So I set up a Deadman Switch to send you this call. I got 100,000 million insurance policy, payable when you find and crease me. Alive with a conviction, or in a body bag with justification. Either works. Contact my law firm. Rogers, Mengert, and McCain. When the job is done. They'll know what to do. He turns to his left. Chet? The camera swivels to show a well-dressed man sitting next to Sam. Pursuant to Mr. Watts' wishes, Rogers, Mengert, and McCain have installed a secure dedicated phone line, so you may contact us directly when the line is complete. We will then begin a verification process. Note that you must also be on a secure landline to access this number. We will not accept transmissions from comlinks or other devices. The camera swivels back to Sam. He straightens up, talks seriously, first time. Look, Ronstock, I've led a Drek life, and I've probably left a Drek corpse. I've hurt people, hurt myself, I don't know. Maybe I just want the last word. Maybe I just want someone to give a shit that I sucked air for a while. What do you say? 100,000 new ones buys a lot of drinks. Hope he just said yes. I've got a locator chip slotted in my head these days. If, when my heart stops, it'll activate. That's how you'll find me. See you on the slab. Rest in peace, Sam. See you in Seattle. Your plane hits the sea-tack tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in a cramped headback seat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders, a legal chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for Nuyen, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Baron has to a morgue. It seems this is where Sam Watt's body ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. God damn, what's that smell? We'll stay nice and zoomed in for the most part so we can all enjoy the graphics. Of course, you can always zoom way out for strategical combat. Employees only beyond this point. Okay. The smell of death and decomposition wash over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. Let's talk to Dresden. Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf, whistling a tune. His broad grin says, "I love my job," a little more than you'd want or expect from someone in a chop shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it might just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. "Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour, and some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, sir?" "Are you the coroner?" "I'm John Dresden, the organ grinder's branch manager. So yeah, that makes me this franchise's area coroner too. And you are?" "I'm Ronstock. I represent a man named Sam Watts, and I'm here to look into his murder." He frowns. "Interesting, but that man makes us for a strange client. But what makes you think he's here?" "Sam has a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here." "Ah, see. Well, you're right, he's here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though. The press haven't caught wind of it yet. What with all the being all the way out here in the Barrens." "So, who told you he was dead?" "Sam did, when his heart died. His digital ghost, when his heart stopped, I got sent a recorded message asking me to bring his killer to justice. Guess he just had a hunch." The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. "A Deadman Switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here." I didn't feel that it was necessary to let on to Dresden that we were looking at 100,000 Nuyen. So I quickly changed my dialogue option. "Here's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third was downtown." "Ripper, huh? I guess the classics never go out of style." Not my title. That's what Seattle Press insists on calling the killer. All I know is that I like the original Jack. Our Ripper knows how to handle the scalpel, but this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim." "What prize did Ripper take from Sam?" "Waltz's liver was cleanly cut out." "How about the other lucky contestants?" "The first victim's heart was missing, and the third had his spleen removed." "Dresden, get out here!" "Oh shit! Not this asshole!" "I'm here to see the new Ripper Vic, Sam Watts." Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of Central Casting. If you ignore the tusked pointed ears and Neanderthal brow, you can smell his cheap aftershave from a mile away. "So, this new Ripper Vic name familiar? Didn't his mother kill herself a while back?" Coroner frowns. "So, you insisted at the time?" "Come on, she offed herself." I had a very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. The Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge. I've already posted everything anew. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed with a slim hand that knows the way around a scalpel. He has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy too. So, I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon? Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from a military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado. No damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star Detective finally notices you. You notice superhuman powers of observation. Who the hell are you? Now, as you can see, my strength isn't high enough. When I played the Luglug character, I had this intimidation factor, and I got to choose none of your business, Lumpy. Are you the detective on this case? I was hired by Sam Watts to assist you in finding the killer. The dreck you were. Get anywhere near my investigation and you'll be you on the slab, human. He looks back to the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I'm putting someone in a cell in this box this week and claiming my promotion. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Ugly bastard. Dresden looks amused. You always make friends out easily. I'm great at dinner parties too. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me. You really gonna work for the Deadman? I'm gonna bring his killer to justice. At least, street justice. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if he'd meant another $10 million a week in a paycheck. Plus, he's on the take. Dresden pauses, considering. You have honor after a fashion. I try to honor the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help you? What are organs worth these days? A whole healthy body can be worth a bunch of million, but individual organs not worth as much anymore. What with all the synth and cyber stuff on the market these days. Organ grinders only deal in recently deceased. There's plenty of other chop shops that ain't as picky though, and they don't care where the bodies come from either. What was that McCluskey said about Sam's mother? The official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago. You don't buy that? My mind's on the report, but actual findings left some doubts. Can't say it wasn't suicide, but there were unusual bruises on her upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it. Who uses scalpels? Doctors still learn to use them in the first year of medical school, as do coroners, but neither profession uses them much anymore. It's possible some of the similar chop shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look. On the take, who's paying to hold his leash? I know, but someone with major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? Dresden looks up at you intently a moment before speaking. You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers in the back and see if you find anything useful? Okay. I'll go do that. We can also poke around some of these medical drawers and pick up some trauma kits. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet. His face is ashen white, for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest there is a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him, and took it. Let's look at a business card. Moving things around, you can make out that it's a card from a place called the Seamstress Union. There's something handwritten on the back, but blood has made it illegible. Looking at the cred stick, it's a standard cheap unsecured cred stick, no way of knowing what's on it without slotting it in. You slot the cred stick into your PDA. 300 new yen is added to your account. It's Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing, and blood has thoroughly soaked it. The bag sloshes a bit in your hand. You can only see part of the note, given the torn off bits and bloodstains. Sam, I feel terrible that we have been long. To say I'm sorry. See you there. Love, Jessica. Jessica should have got a deep voice. Shit. Alright, and any of you that have played the original Shadowrun games will be in for a little surprise here. The cold storage drawer is labeled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. The cold storage drawer opens to reveal a fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest, in addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen. The body seems to be in very good condition. Oh! Easy there! In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer, stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. You spot a data jack drilled into his temples, and some shamanistic tattoos peeking above his collar. An interesting combination. I told John to wake me up at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 yet? It doesn't feel like 6 yet. Sorry, didn't expect you to be so alive. Yeah, Dresden thinks he's pretty funny. You're not the first person he's pulled this one on. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I noticed you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? The latest Ripper victim. Did you know him? Sam, eh? Glad somebody cares. We used to drink together every now and then over at the Union. Decent enough guy. Always in trouble over something or other, though. Jake yells toward the other side of the room. John! Is this guy cool? Yeah, he's on the level. Working for Sam, believe it or not. Some sort of Deadman Switch. I thought you could help him out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Thanks for volunteering me. He pauses. Might be sizing you up, but it's hard to tell beyond those shades. Alright then. The name's Jake, and you are? Call me Ron Stock. Nice to meet you. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive in the deep end here. John's right. I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder. Poor guy. He was hanging at the Seamstress Union that night. Tripped out then rowdy. I'd be laying low for a few days after a bad run. Miss Kabuta asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But out in the alley, some gangers got the jump on me. Damn, maybe I need another psych-off after all. John, can you grab me a cup? Get your own damn cup. My hands are dirty anyway. What's wrong with this intestine? You hear a loud squelching sound as Dresden continues his work. Thanks, John. You're a real pal. Anyway, there's a big fat court bounty on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeniers got a jump on us. Damn gangers thought they could pick a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles, and you get the impression it didn't work out so well for the gangers. Sam stumbled off during the fight, though, and that's the last I saw of him, until he turned up here, dead on arrival. Reminds me of my last stay in his place. Great. So you don't know anything about his death? I know they found the body a block away from the Union, just lying there in broad daylight. That's the Barrens for you. Jake looks down, his expression masked by chrome and crimson glass. Shame, though. Wish I'd been there. Those slagging gangers hadn't come along. Tell you what. You look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. The leader's got a whole gang searching the Barrens for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit the streets alone at night, trust me. Jake eyes you up and down. Maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What do you say? It's nice to have someone watching your back out there. Assuming you can trust them. I get it. Gotta be careful in this trade. I'm not one to go back on a deal, though. John can vouch for that. Plus, you know where I'm hiding out, right? Doesn't leave me much of a lot of room to sell you out. What do you say? I do like a bit of street justice every now and then. Alright, Jake. Count me in. Great! Been hiding out here ever since that run with those Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangers. But this stretch of the Barrens is their turf. Hell, I'm even surprised you made it to the morgue in one piece without packing some heat. He yells over his shoulders. Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow. So, you need a weapon? I like to keep my distance. Got a rifle? You don't like library windows, do you? Never mind. Here's a rifle you can borrow. So, ready for an evening out on the town? Just a minute. Tell me more about these gangers. Well, they're the one nastier gang in town. The symbol's a flaming jack-o'-lantern. But you wouldn't like their version of trick-or-treating very much. Around here they're led by a troll named John Paul. He's got all the Halloweeners and the Barons looking for me. We take him out, maybe I can breathe a bit easier. I'm ready. I'll follow your lead. The Halloweeners aren't looking for you. Yet. We can leave whenever you're ready. Alright. And we finally have a weapon that's worth a damn. And we can go to our karma here. Pump up our rifles. We have aim shot, which increases the hit by 15%. And we have critical damage percentage visible, burst, fire available, weapon permitting. So we're gonna rock our rifles and SMGs here. I probably could have even reverted that. No, need to go 4 there. So we'll pump up rifle since that's the weapon of choice that I chose. Go ahead and I guess the game auto saves. Let's head out to the Barrens. Run in the Seattle sprawl, and sooner or later you'll find yourself in the Red Mountain Barrens. Doesn't matter your business. The Barrens doesn't like you. Take 1 part radioactive wasteland, 3 parts dog-eat-dog slum, and a dash of tourist trap, and you've got a recipe for mean as hell. You leave the sanitized death and formaldehyde of organ grinders behind. Entering the anarchy and desperation of the streets, Jake stops a moment to breathe deeply, filling his lungs with motorcycle exhaust, radioactive dust, cordite, and who knows what else. He exhales with an expression of riot contentment. The stench and grime tell him he's home. My stash is just around the corner in the alley. And we'll get to that stash in the next episode, folks. Thanks for watching.